Oh no, what is up you guys? It's blurry already in the video. There we go. I just wanted to show you my new car. And here's the inside. Yeah, I just cleaned it, and me and my parents are gonna go to this old house in Fort Lauderdale. So hopefully I can film over there. I'm not really sure yet. It's called the Stranahan House. I forgot to edit this part of the video. Well, not this part of the video, but last week I went out with Jared and we went to the beach and had some drinks and some food. So I'm gonna put this footage in while I get dressed to go to the Stranahan House. So we're here at the beach with Jared.
We are here at the beach.
We came to this place called Ocean Alley on the boardwalk. So I got an Italian wrap with spinach, a pickle, and french fries. And he got fish and chips. They're small though. And it's alright. We're leaving the beach now. You probably can hear me because of all the wind, but we're leaving now. Alright, now we are back at the Stranahan House. And it's next to like the water over there. But we're gonna go inside because the tour starts at 3. I don't think the sundial works really good right here in the shade. So I think this is the house here, and it's right next to the water. So yeah, this house is very, oh here it is, historic Stranahan House Museum. And it's right next to the water. This huge tree is called the sea grape tree, and the lady inside the museum was telling us that they make grape jam out of the grapes here, but there's no grapes anymore. So we're starting the tour and we're the only people gonna do the tour, so it's kind of like a private tour.
Two theories on how it got its name. One was from the Miccosukee Indians centuries ago. They describe a night of going to bed and there's a great shaking of the ground and they wake up and there's this waterway.
Oh my God.
And they call it Himmershey. And we have a street right downtown called Himmershey, and Himmershey means new waters. When Frank Stranahan first came here, he had it as a trading post, and he also had it as a ferry to take the stagecoach across, which would come from the north and then go down to Miami, and he would use a pulley and a barge to get the stagecoach. This was used as part of that. It was on the opposite side, so when the stagecoach would come from the south, they would ring the bell, and Frank would go out, know that they're there, and he would bring them across and they'd be on their merry way. And he named his trading post Stranahan and Company. But this is his 4th trading post. In the earlier 3 trading posts, and I have a picture to show you, what did he put across the top of it?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. So in his own way, he named this place.
Oh, he named this place Fort Lauderdale.
About this cookie plant right here. Coontie. This is part of our story. And now we're ready to get started. I'm not able to get this. This is as it was.
Oh.
Wow.
And this Dade County pine is impervious to termites. It really does ward off water well. It's protected trees now, if you can even find it. They say there's some at Flamingo Park, but in the turn of the century, around the 1900s, many homes were built with Dade County pine. Before we get to Frank, let's talk a little bit about the history, just so you'll get an idea of how we got the name Fort Lauderdale. When Andrew Jackson became president, he had his very first piece of legislation that he pushed through was the Indian Removal Act. But there was a wild bunch of Indians that was not having that, and they kept running further and further south. They got mixed in with a few runaway slaves, and they went from North Georgia to South Georgia to North Florida. When they got here in Florida, we had 3 wars with the Seminoles, 3 Seminole Wars. That's the U.S. government. At that time, there were actually 50 or 60 white settlers living here. One of them was named William Cooley, and in the 1930s, William Cooley lived here. He had a Coontie plantation, the plant that I showed you. The Indians had showed him how to take the fruit that it bears, which is sort of like a pine cone, break it open, beat it down, make a nice flour out of it. There were so many Coonties growing wild, he could just have his fill. He was also a nice, gregarious guy. People liked him. He became the Justice of the Peace. Well, when the Second Seminole War broke out, and they lived side by side with the Seminoles here, all getting along, but when the Second Seminole War broke out, people just chose their sides. So the Seminoles went with the Seminoles, the white Anglo-Saxons went with the white Anglo-Saxons, and, you know, it was a little bit more friction than there used to be. And the chief came up to William Cooley and said, you know what? 3 of your white settlers, they have killed an old Creek chief. We want justice. They had trial, and they found him not guilty because there wasn't enough evidence.
Wow.
So, a few months went by, and in this time, the Seminoles were planning their revenge, but nobody knew it. And while all the able-bodied men had been gone, the Seminoles attacked the Cooley plantation. They killed the wife, the 3 children, and the tutor in a bloody massacre.
Wow.
The next day, when all the able-bodied men came back and found that, every white person left this area. He always had a full whisker and beard, until he didn't, but that's how he looked when he came here. He was born in 1865 in Youngstown, Ohio. He grew up, went to high school. When he graduated, he went to work in a steel mill. At some point, he breathed some noxious fumes, and when he did, he either saw a doctor who suggested, or he had the idea, I don't want to work inside anymore. I want to work outside. He had an aunt and uncle who lived in Melbourne, Florida, which is about halfway up the coast, and a cousin, so he went to live there. And he was there for 3 or 4 years, and what did he do? He started working in a trading post. Now, the Indians that were living here, they needed things from that trading post to really make their lives work.
The newspaper need an article or something like that. You pick a letter and you put it on this metal piece, and you rub the ink on it, and you print it that way. Not for a couple. It's called California Job Case.
So they went to Miami, talked to the, because it was all Dade County, it was all the way from here to Juneau Beach, the entire thing was Dade County.
Wow.
Could we have a teacher? Now, we're going to say fish plates. They usually have them all across here. It's said that Henry Flagler gave that to them for a wedding gift. And then these 2 dressers are original to the house. We just brought them down here to display, you know, typical
Look at
items.
the
Pest control. You got the cans under the legs of the chairs. So if you had the ants crawling up, you would put maybe kerosene, but if the smell got too bad, you'd put just oil, and if the ants got too bad, you'd go back to kerosene. It was probably not the healthiest living style.
Here's the dining room that they would have their meals at. Very small. Oh, if you were tall enough, you would hit the ceiling here.
If you were tall enough.
Look at.
Oh wow, this is.
Oy. I think that's Ivy there.
So this was all one room, and now we've got it split up into 2 bedrooms on this side, 1 bedroom on this side. This became the sewing room, and we want to remind everybody that there was no bathroom here for some 20 years. So they would use a chamber pot and the basin and water until they did finally in the 1920s put in a bathroom.
That, I love that.
Now let's tell you a little bit about Ivy. Ivy, very, very religious. Ivy, very, very passionate about the things that she thinks are fair. She is really more for fairness than she is for religious. Why do I say that? When she came here, she was Methodist. She went to the Methodist church, and the minister goes, your husband deals with heathens. She goes, really? I need you for what? She never went back. Frank one night, Frank, on becoming Seventh-day Adventist, she took her ring off and threw it into the New River. The source didn't say what kind of ring, but we know that she wasn't fancy. Then in the 1960s, Ivy helped to start the Fort Lauderdale Historic Society. When she died in 1971, of those 2 places, a little bit of a slight angle, that's because when the Seminoles would come and spend 150 of them at a time, they would sleep out here. They would sleep upstairs, they would sleep out into the, under the trees. So this is the beautiful breeze you usually get 29 out of 30 days if you go on the water. It's so fabulous. There. To the attic.
Oh no.
And then watch your step down. Like I said, they didn't have a bathroom at first, but they built this.
Oh, there's the
attic.
Where?
Up here.
goes up there. Oh, there's a bathroom there. I haven't seen a bathroom yet. Interesting. So what I didn't get on the video is the lady saying is that the house of this guy, he killed himself because he was a banker and all these people took loans out and everything, but they didn't pay him back, and so he got so depressed that he tied what did he tie around the grill?
He got a rope,
He got
tied it on himself, and threw it
into the river, and he killed himself. All right, so near the pole here, that's what he tied to himself, and then he threw it into the water. Crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll put a link to the Stranahan House here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later. All right.